I love the design, I love it, but I'm still like kind of heartbroken about it because it has such big impacts on the environment and the whole consumerist culture is actually draining us, that we're missing the essence of life, that life has become and was also for me like about consumption, up to a point where I was just like, let's resettle everything back. And I think this realization happened to me in Berlin, like here in the city. I'm born and raised in Istanbul. I had a 7 years living away experience in United States, New York. I always thought I wasn't gonna go back to Istanbul somehow, but I found myself back there because I had. And then I was in Istanbul for a decade after starting working in fashion. And when I got back to Istanbul, Turkey, I wanted to keep staying in the field because I always believed that I have this special connection with clothes. And I love wearing them, I love thinking about them, I love combining them somehow always. So I always wanted to stay in the business. But the business, when you get far away from the main cities, becomes just a business actually. The heart wasn't somehow there and the mentality was different. So then I could be anywhere in Europe, back in Europe, after 500 years basically, which seems like a long time, but I felt like, yes, this is the time. When I go to a place, I feel the need that this place needs to call me, and Berlin didn't call me. I came without anything, I struggled, I sat, observed, and I tried to understand the city, the soul of the city, and then after the COVID lockdown, I felt where my soul met the soul of the city basically, which led in Turkey, in Istanbul, like going to a tailor is common practice. So of course people from my family passed, I always kept their clothes. To it, like adding one more personal touch to it to make it even more your own. And I feel the same for second-hand clothes, that you can personalize it to make it your own. So this is something we want to do here with the repair corner, that we want to personalize the items, repair them in a unique way, so that it becomes the person's more. So it's like, how when you fall in love, actually like you fall in love with the wound of the people. So it's like a very similar situation with the clothes, that we want to create this connection from what's broken. The idea of the shop is based on the idea of sustainability, progressive fashion, and consciousness. But there's a big but, that I don't want to monetize this hype, basically. I am also, of course, influenced by what's happening in this world. I cannot hold myself outside of it. I'm not in a bubble, so of course the environmental effects of fashion industry, even though I love fashion, I love the design, I love it, but I'm still like kind of heartbroken about it because it has such big impacts. Consumerist culture is actually draining us, that we're missing the essence of life, that life has become and was also for me like about consumption, up to a point where I was just like, let's resettle everything back. And I think this realization happened to me in Berlin, like here in the city. Like after COVID pandemic, we all became more aware of what we consume because we had such a long break away from street life, maybe, even though online shopping was still available. I will speak personally because this is all I can do. And for me it was a big awakening, and I did not go into the pattern of online shopping replacing what I'm missing, but instead I went on a journey inside, and this is what I figured, that I do love clothes, but I'm also do not need something new every day. That I don't want to be part of this economy of like pushing products on, and I lost the meaning. Like, why are we doing this? Just to make bigger companies so that they can rule us even better. Like, so that's made me realize that I would still want to be part. Consumption brings us maybe to shop concepts like this, Reparatur, where there's the second-hand consumption possible, which is already not new, of course. And the idea of making old clothes into repurposing them into new, and maybe repairing them in unique ways. An idea. I'm not really calculating what the effect of having such a shop would have, but I think maybe not the shop itself, but the way of thinking might help. That's reusing and then tailoring, and then maybe instead of buying fast fashion, paying more for this one particular coat, get it custom made for yourself, and then wear it forever, because it is possible. This is a possibility to wear something. But I also unfortunately observe that people are so used to going and buying things that fit them perfectly, or then having all this range of sizes. So it's also hard to compete with this world of still fast fashion production. Everything is there, so why would people why would people wanna tailor something so that it fits them? For me personally, I feel like it is a better choice. Not because of sustainability, but because it makes it your own, unique, your own piece. People need time to adapt to this. I believe in the quality of these clothes because I believe that they will have a longer shelf life, or maybe not shelf life, but like a second life. We are learning from our visitors every day, like their reaction, their questions are teaching us, mold the concepts in a much more efficient way. So at the end of the day, it won't be only my idea, the founder's idea, but it will be a collective idea where I hope will function as a destination. I feel like what we are trying to do in this shop with the items we want to showcase and then eventually sell. I don't want to say hopefully, because sometimes I don't. I fear like they will be gone. But yeah, so it's more about not the hype, but it's for people who have their own unique eye for things. So the merchandising is items maybe displayed one next to the other, and everyone will read it differently, and something will speak differently to you or to the next person. So So it's more about not the hype, but it's lifestyle oriented. And so the repair idea will also help us give longevity to clothes and maybe make them more unique, or keep them longer in our wardrobes, basically. So I want to tie the aspect of storytelling with how I find the items in the shop, like all these unique objects that have particular stories. So I would like to bring these two worlds together, hopefully in the very near future. Probably on social media. That will,
Well done.
Thank you.
Okay.
Like,